Buy a $7,000 tax deed house right here, cheaper than the price of a crappy used car, Honda Civic. And this property we're going to look at right now could be worth over $200,000. And you could use your credit card to buy it. Where this house is, they actually accept credit card payments. So you could use the bank's money to buy one of these properties. We are very excited to share this secret location of properties. The opening bid is going to be $7,000. They accept credit card. You can do it from home. It's a tax deed property, and tax deeds are one of the best ways to get into real estate and start creating wealth in a world that is just pitted against us these days. Inflation is through the roof. The average American is going to retire broke. 90% of new businesses fail. So why not go with real estate, where 90% of millionaires have done it through real estate? We're here today to show you a treasure trove of properties coming up for auctions. We're going to kick it off here with one with an opening bid of just $7,000, worth over 200 grand, and you can pay via credit card. But before we do that, we're going to bring in Mr. Josh Blanchard. How are you today, sir?
Hello, good afternoon. Doing well, doing well.
Excellent. Josh is hot off the Houston, Texas auction, looking at properties out there, and we are going to just cut the fluff right now and just show you where this property is so you can start doing some research. We're going to be attending this auction as well, and we just want to share with you exactly what we're doing. And Josh, let's just cut to it and show them where it is and how they could have a chance at swinging at one of these killer deals.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I've got it up here on my screen. So we'll get that on the broadcast. And here it is. So this is in the state of Michigan. If you go to tax-sale.info, that's going to bring you to the main page. From there, from the home page, it's going to be view available properties. See that? And we're going to click view upcoming auctions. So these are, for the most part, happening in August. So you got a little bit of prep time, a little bit of time to go through the rules, see what's going on. Let's show you this one right here. This is going to be August 1st in a county called Kent. And they do have quite a bit of houses here. They got a lot of inventory and really great spreads. So let me show you this first one right here. I got to scroll back a little bit. This is it. So minimum bid, $6,154.72. Let me show you the details on this. I'm going to go ahead, grab this address, throw it up into Zillow. We can take a quick peek at it. And here we are. $218,000, built in 1922, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,303 square feet. Looks like in the area here, stuff is selling between 192 and 242. So if we wanted to, we could actually get dialed in here on the comps, see exactly what we think this is worth. I'm going to go ahead, use this on PropWire. So PropWire is actually a free website that you can use. You take a look, get a little bit more information. And this is all public information just for the YouTube algorithm. Everything here is available to the public. So we can see there's an absentee owner. Just simply means that their mailing address is different than the property address, and they paid cash for it. They own it free and clear. There's a lot of equity. So I just come in here, we can see that it was bought. There's the mortgage history. So that mortgage most likely is paid off by now. Quite a history that this property has had, actually. You can see it ping pong back and forth a couple times. Ended up at a foreclosure sale in 2007 and then bought 2016. So there was a $75,000 mortgage before that. So it seems like maybe it was in rough shape back in the day. You can see it selling for 30, 62, 74. Sorry, those are the mortgages amounts. No, those are transactions. And then 100 grand, but then down to 23 grand in 08. So it probably needs a little bit of work, but with an open grand of 6,100, let's go ahead and see what property sells for in the area. So we got this 3-1, a lot smaller. It sold for 222. Not coming up right there for the bedrooms, but similar square footage, 171, 200, 245, 263, 275. So there's certainly room to go up. So if a rehabber wanted to fix and flip this, let's say you want to sell it to a rehabber, you just want to buy it and offload it, there is higher comps in the area for sure. So 265s on the table, 270, 245, which is certainly more than 208 or 218. So there's certainly room to go up. So we would like this one a lot.
Josh, for anybody coming in, we got some good comments coming in. Jay Dyer here is saying, can we look it up on Google Earth or Streets and Trips, see what's going on there? Great comment. For anybody who's tuning in, questions, put them in the comments. We're here with you live right now, so we can answer any questions that are popping up. And I see the live stream starting to get some traction. So if you're here, you're watching, we're here live. We're going to be going live a lot more these days because in a world of AI, which we use as a tool, it is nice to see on a live stream. You can always be sure that it's real people chatting with you here. So Josh has the Google Street View up, June 2011. Oh, we got one May 2025 too.
Yeah, so super recent actually. And then we got 2022. Looks like they might have replaced one of the windows between then and now. Oh no, 2025. Yeah, still didn't replace that window, right? Yeah, okay. So that would kind of align with the thought that it could use a bit of work, but we do have, they did replace the windows on the top floor there. Same thing looks like on the side. So definitely in reasonable shape. I don't think it would take a whole lot to get this thing going to get rental ready. But yeah, so a $6,000 opening bid, yeah, would definitely be a nice buy. We got a little bit of information there on PropWire. So what we would want to do is do a title search, see if they got any kind of liens, and we would probably try to figure out who's occupying this property. But this could be an excellent pre-auction deal as well. Again, we have seen this property kind of bounce around a lot since 2000. You can see all of those transfers in there. Looks like it, yeah, quite a bit of fix and flippers, for instance. But yeah, this would be a fantastic buy. There's a lot of remodels happening in the area, a lot of construction. So we like the area. We like the comps and what we're seeing. And these are all pretty fresh sales as well. The later half of 2024 into 2025 as well. So definitely a really good buy. Yeah, you can see here May 22nd, 2025, $265,000 for 2025, 300 grand. Also year built 1900. So that would have been a remodel for sure. So yeah, really strong comps. This is looking good. And you can see that this is all pretty close. There's something on the market right now for 260 grand that's pending. We could go ahead and have a look at that. That's just 2 streets over. Let me grab that address.
Oh.
Trying to get just that one.
And as Josh is pulling this up here, so what we love about tax deed sales is if you get in this game and you show up, there will be great deals that come across the plate. And if you keep going to auctions, sometimes we see these things go for opening bid or a little over. So this house, $6,100. Now, when you get into this game, will it go for opening bid? There is a chance. Will it get bid up? There is also a chance. But what we can say is the more you go to these auctions, the more chances you have, right? You have people who, we've all bought lottery tickets at one point for like a 1 in a whatever, million, better chance of getting struck by lightning. Whereas if you come to these tax sales, the odds can definitely be in your favor to get things for sometimes minimum bid, which is awesome. So we see we have the stream coming alive here. Anybody who's tuning in, start asking some questions. We would love to hear from you. We would love to answer some questions. We are looking at a property right now. Opening bid was 7 grand. And from here, we're going to look at some other ones, some other smoking deals coming up. So folks, let's get the comments going as far as questions. Quite a few of you guys are tuned in right now. So tell us even just where you live. Let's get the comments going, because if you tell us where what state you're in, we can comment on those states as well. You know, for example, like Dave in Ohio, we could be referencing our deals in Ohio to help you get going. JD, appreciate the comment. He says, we got a property in Mississippi last year, need some rehabbing, less than $3,000.
Whoa.
Nice work, man. That is awesome. And for folks that are new to this channel, it's Dustin Hahn here, Josh Blanchard, and we've been in this game now for a long time. This is my 22nd year. Josh, I think 12 years. He has hundreds of auctions under his belt, and the goal of this channel is to be the leading authority in tax liens and deeds. We have over 3,500 videos here to help you get started. Our website, Tax Lien School, is the most comprehensive free resource for tax liens and deeds that's available. I have an open challenge. I have a public challenge here. If you come here and you click on our Tax Lien Knowledge Vault, we have thousands of articles. We have an interactive map. And the challenge is, if you can find another tax lien site with more valuable free information, or another YouTube channel, case of beer. Case of beer. And for anybody who tunes in, we also give away our ABCs of tax lien and deed investing. This is a full comprehensive free training for anybody. It is below in the description to get you started there as well, with the directories, anything you need. So that's our goal here with this, is to provide you as much information as humanly possible. And then folks are like, oh, what's this guy's agenda? Our agenda is to give you as much value. And from there, rather than work with thousands of people in seminars, what we do is we work with people one-on-one if they want help. So if you want to come to one of these auctions with us, there's also a link below. We can you can book a free call and see if that's an option. So that's our agenda for transparency. Josh, we can pull up some more of these properties. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We got San Antonio, California here. Good stuff. We got a newbie, which is good. If you're here, and this is great stuff for us to chat about as we go through this. We got St. Petersburg, Florida. Welcome, John. We appreciate the comments for everybody who is tuning in. And yeah, let us know where you're from, or if you're in the comments, even just use the comments below this video to type, you know, where you're interested in investing, or basically the city or the state that you're in, because this allows us to create these videos and create these content. And the cool thing about this sale coming up is the fact that you can buy these with your credit card. There's not a lot of counties that allow you to buy via credit card, and this just happens to be one. So that is very, very cool. Let's see here. Jay is saying, yeah, likes to do this. There's not a lot of information about how to do this, especially some information that's worthwhile. So we're here to hopefully make it worthwhile for everybody. Welcome, Blake. Houston, Josh just got back from that auction. We can comment on that a bit later. How much do you need as a minimum to start? So you could have as little as $50 sometimes to get into this game. So let's continue the party here, find some more good deals. This is an actual auction coming up that everybody here can participate in. We're going to be participating in this property, in this auction as well. And what I love about this stuff is it's not hypothetical or you know, as far as speculation, in the sense of like, hey, if you could set up this property or set up this Amazon store, or, you know, this is a real deal available that you can have a shot at buying. Now, will it go for opening bid? Will it go above? You miss every shot you don't take. And that's why we show up at these auctions. And that's why we encourage you guys as well. We got Polk County, Florida. Polk County High.
Nice.
Al Bundy, 7 touchdowns in 1 game. True legend. All right, guys, let's find some more deals. Josh, back to you.
All right, nice. We got 939 Northwest Douglas Street, Grand Rapids. We're going to throw that as well into Zillow here just for a quick overhead view. This one, 925 square feet, also $192,000. So pretty similar as far as year built goes as the last one that we saw. We could go ahead, we'll throw this one in a prop wire as well. See if we can find any more information to kind of give us a little bit of backstory, but that's Naples, Florida. Let's try this again. I'm going to put a comma there. See if I can get it to come up. Maybe get rid of it, throw it back in. And then if not there, what I'm going to do is throw the address into Google. Sometimes that'll bring it up if I type it in differently. Let's see if that will get it to click. Yeah, look at that. It did. Okay, so on this one, another absentee owner, high equity. This is actually saying that it's vacant. So you would treat it a little bit differently. We would try to figure out how long it's been vacant for. And again, this is all public information. I know this is private information. We see that they bought it though.
And
2000. We see a transfer.
we like to say that this is public information because sometimes the YouTube thinks we're revealing information that is like guarded or private. Everything here for anybody watching in the YouTube AI super algorithm brain, this is all public information that's available online, public county free government websites.
Exactly. Exactly. So looking at similar properties that were built within 20 years of the subject property, we've got also similar square feet. We've got 184 sales price, 199, 215, 220, 225. So this is another really juicy spread. This one's got an open bid of $13,000. So we'd definitely be interested in that. And one of the things that we always want to do though is look at the parcel map just to make sure that we're not buying anything funny. Sometimes these are properties that have irregular parcel maps or parcel lines, and so sometimes you're going halfway through a property and things like that. So not a bad idea just to always double check, make sure that you are getting a good deal, that nothing funny is going on there. So this is going to bring us in, and that definitely looks funny for sure. Maybe it's just that there's a tree covering the house, but that's something that we would definitely want to double check. Because perhaps,
Josh,
yeah, there just is a, what's
if we
that?
go to the street view, I wonder if we could see.
Yeah, let's pull it up here on Google
For anybody just
Drive.
joining, welcome to the show. We're trying to find some dirt cheap tax deed properties that you could buy with a credit card. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what state, and we can answer any questions you have as we go.
Yeah, so I mean, looking at the photos, it would be easy, it makes sense that perhaps on the view there that these are all kind of being masked. But if you were to drive it in person or have someone drive it in person, then they could absolutely go ahead and confirm that for sure. Yeah, we got the latest photo we got is up to 2022. 2019, it looked great. 2019 looks like they put on some new siding, perhaps. And then 2007, of course, 11, 14. But it's got exceptional value. And so when you have a property that, let's say it is worth 200 grand, there is enough room there to do a complete remodel and increase the ARV. So another one that we like, and this sign looks like it was pretty recent, but you don't want to trust the images from the county. Always want to have someone drive it. So this one has got, see if we can find anything else that's pretty low, like we'd found before. Some of these lots, though, you can see they've got open bids of. This one's got an open bid of under $1,000, 0.19 of an acre. This is 0.34 of an acre, $1,300. Oh wow, I haven't seen this before. Fenced in cellular tower.
Fenced
Wow.
in. Whew. Charge what do you call it? AT&T, a couple
Yep.
grand a month.
Yeah. That's pretty trippy. All right, we got under $7,000 here for another house. Let's see if we can pull that one up. Looks like I'm lagging here. Maybe the website's lagging. I'll do a refresh, I think. Okay, there we go. See if we can pull that one up. Actually, this one looks good too. Oh, there it is, $8,400. Yeah. Could always just try getting the catalog spreadsheet as well, since it wasn't
Nice.
opening for us.
And as Josh is pulling these up, folks, say hello. Blake, thanks for joining. We'll get your question here. Dave, thank you for joining us here. She's got a question about a property, so we will get to everybody's questions. So let us know where you're tuning in from, because we can definitely comment on your state. For example, you're in Austin. We just did the Texas auction, Polk County. We've done Florida auctions as well. So when you let us know where you're here, Florida, we've done those auctions. We've done California. So we are able to comment on where you live. So Texas has some good opportunity. Florida has sales every single month. California has lots of sales as well. There are sales happening all over the place.
Yeah, so we got this one, and we can see that it was actually listed for rent back in 2022. So it looks like it would have been rental ready just a few years ago. And this one's got an open bid of 6,900. So ARV again is pretty high on this one. Perhaps they did get it. They did get it rented. Let's see if we can get any more information here from PropWire. Let's see, absentee owner, adjustable loan, high equity, tired landlords. Yeah, so mortgages get wiped, and you can see why. That if there's potentially about 18 grand left in the mortgage, they may just decide to let it go. You know, that's what happens. Looks like it's from 2003. Yeah, so Fifth Third Mortgage, they would just probably let it go at this point, I bet. Since it's such a low amount, they may not be interested in redeeming that or paying the taxes. This one's got a lot of strong comps as well. So if I just go ahead and filter this down to similar properties, ours was built in 1935. So let's just go plus minus 20 years. And then, oh, interesting. Interesting. It is saying that it is incredibly tiny. This is saying 834 square feet. This is saying 564. So I would go with whatever the county says. So I would check the appraiser, see what they're saying. But again, we got solid, strong comps. We got some stuff hitting in the 300K range, or close to, yeah, 309, 285, 250, 293, 295. So contractors are spending money in the area. So $7,000, well, $6,900 open bid. ARV, you know, you could, this one also could be north of 200 grand if someone puts the money into it. And as you can see, it's was looking great in 2022. And this is just one auction of many. So this is Kent coming up August 1st. If I just scroll and show you, there are so many auctions that are available. And it's the same thing. All of these are going to be, you can pay for the property by credit card or debit card, which is so unique. Really, we've only seen this in Michigan. And so it's an incredible opportunity to get in and not even necessarily utilize your own capital, but you just utilize a credit card capital, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, very, very cool. Josh, looks like the stream's starting to fill in. Very awesome. We see your questions, folks, and that is sweet. We're going to get to it. Crystal, we're going to get to your question in a minute. Dave, we're going to get to your question. Blake, we're going to do that as well. So we will be coming into the questions here. We're going to continue the party of finding some cheap deals for anybody who is tuning in, cheap tax deed properties. You know, our goal today is to find some deals cheaper than the price of a used car. Believe it or not, we have done episodes where we have found cheap over-the-counter property for cheaper than the price of a cup of coffee. So
that's true.
There's a video somewhere in our videos where we found property for $2. And what happened is, sure enough, that video went viral, and the law firm handling it, they're like, hey, please update the video. We're getting hammered with calls right now. So part of the thing is, like, people will say things like, oh, if this works so good, why are you teaching it, right? Or you're just trying to sell information. And calling a spade here of why we do this and why we're here is the fact that, like I say, we give away all of our best information, the ABCs of tax lien and deed investing. This full mini course is below. Tax Lien School is the #1 resource for this. We give it all away, and we started off as tax lien and deed investors, and from there things just went crazy. So we originally didn't plan on doing a YouTube. We put up some videos. They started to go viral. People really liked it. And then folks would say to us, like, hey, can you give us one-on-one help? And we said at first, like, we don't really do that. And then we started taking people to auctions. And then you fast forward 10 years, and we now have the top channel and have committed ourselves to being the ultimate resource for tax liens and deeds to help you make money in real estate. So at the same time, you know, rather than sell this stuff, we just give it away for free. And our other side of our business model is we go to these auctions and we bring people with us, or we help you one-on-one. So for example, here, there's a question being like, how do I sign up to get one-on-one help? Well, if you want to join us, we're going to be going to this auction as well. We're going to auctions every single month, or you can go on your own. But sometimes people like one-on-one handholding. So there is a link below in the description. And yes, it is a service, but it is a win-win. It saves you several years of trial and error, brings in our network full of investors, and it really does raise all ships. So that's why we do it. We never intended to do it. We started off just tax deeds and tax liens. We put up a couple videos, and everything that we do when we go to an auction, this started off as our own book for what we needed for resources. And then we just put it into a book, and people seem to like it. So, you know, that's our agenda here as far as that goes. So for anybody that is wondering, do we have auctions in Nevada? We don't have Nevada auctions currently, but we do have on deck Florida, Philadelphia, Houston. We're looking into a whole bunch of auctions all over the place. But the key thing of what you guys are learning here is upcoming auctions that you can go and participate in. You can go and take a swing. Some of you guys might get a deal at your very first auction, like I did. For me, I went to my first auction 3 days after taking a tax lien and deeds seminar. I bought 40 acres of land, and it was worth 40 grand, and I sold it. Sold it for $20,000, made over 15 grand, never looked back. So that's why we're here today. So Josh, let's keep it going as far as seeing what other type of good deals everybody here can act on. And once again, we do encourage you to act on this stuff, right? Even if there is a 20% chance, or even if there's a 10% chance you get one of these properties, that means 1 in 10 sales, you can get an amazing deal or a home run, right? So with that, it's just about showing up. And every time you show up to one of these auctions, you get better, your skills get better. And next thing you know, you're nailing it out of the park, you're getting good deals. And these days, if you want to be quitting your job to get into real estate, you need something to accelerate you forward. And we really believe tax liens and deeds to be one of the best ways to get into real estate, to help you springboard into real estate full time. Because man, inflation, the world is going crazy. We need real assets. We need something to create wealth. We need something for residual income, and something to really secure ourselves so that we can, live a good life. And real estate's a great way. So, Josh, what do we have on deck?
Yeah, this looks pretty wild. This photo could be fairly recent, but that is looking like some pretty fresh siding to me. Gutters, no, maybe no gutters. Maybe there are, but the windows are looking fresh. Everything is looking really fresh. That looks like a new door, maybe. So why don't we go ahead, check that out? What I would say too is sometimes there are hints in the legal description, and so we always want to go with the parcel. So you see the parcel ID, and not necessarily with the address. So that's just something that we're always doing. So any property that we would bid on, we would make sure that the parcel that we're bidding on truly does include the house. We've seen sometimes it be the front yard or just the garage to a house. And so always make sure you get that parcel ID. But let's go ahead, throw this up and see what we can find. Yeah, this is looking remodeled. Okay, what's going on here? This is pretty bizarre. So it looks like that was listed for rent 2021, and maybe some stuff has happened in the meantime since then. Let's go ahead, throw it into PropWire. And again, PropWire is a free resource. If you're in a non-disclosure state, that means they don't give you the previous sale prices. You can use PropWire to pull up MLS information for free. We got an absentee owner. They paid cash for it. It's free and clear. We got a ton of equity, of course. So having a look. Let's see what's going on there. Whoa, county. It's held by the county. Whoa, how does How does that even happen? That's pretty wild. So this is looking like another amazing deal. What's the history there? I'm not seeing when it did become county held, so we would definitely want to do a title search for that. But I mean, to me, this is looking pretty amazing. So we would want to drive this. We want to have a little peek through the windows, but this was remodeled in 2021, which is unreal. And so this opening bid is, yeah, this is less than $2,000. I can't believe it. Wow. Remodeled, going to auction. Insane.
176 value. So this is the exciting side of tax deed investing, is seeing these types of opportunities that are mega exciting, right? And if you show up and you bid, you can have a chance at getting this property. Maybe it goes for opening bid, maybe it goes for 10,000, maybe it gets bid up to market value. There are all sorts of dynamics in play, but as long as you keep showing up to these sales, you will start getting property. You know, there's been times it averages out. There's been times where Josh has went to, you know, up to 7 sales without getting a property. And definitely it takes a toll on the morale at that point. You get tired. But then right after that, on the 8th sale, he picked up 7 properties. So you just need to stick in the game. And what we're doing here on this stream is showing you what we're going to be doing to prepare for this auction that we're going to be going to. There's 3,300 counties. There's hundreds of these auctions happening per month. There's plenty of meat on the bone in this business to get started. And we hope you guys join us. Go to the auction. Put in the comments if you're going to go. We'd love to hear from you. I can see Josh's wheels turning right now. He's pretty excited on this one. So we're definitely going to bid on it and suggest you guys do as well. So what else do you have here, Josh, on this gem?
Yeah, you know, I was just comparing the parcel details really quick. So you can see this definitely does include the house. They've got a 6-1 in front of the number here for the house. And this one doesn't have the 6-1. So yeah, we would want to do a title search for sure. We just have to be careful because, you know, when you see something that is, this looks definitely way too good to be true. So we just got to confirm, but it's totally possible that it does go. We've seen properties just in Texas recently. We saw a $350,000 house go for $9,000, an HOA sale, $9,000 in HOA fees. It had no mortgage, and so you wouldn't think that that would end up at an auction, but it did. And so the same thing could be here. Yeah, we would just want to be really careful because $1,700 recently remodeled. It doesn't make sense why it would go, but someone may have passed away, and there could be nobody that wants to take care of it. For instance, that kind of thing happens a lot. But yeah, this looks like an incredible deal. One other one here that caught my eye, yeah, 6.5 acres, $6,200 opening bid. Let's go ahead, check that out. And that's a huge piece of land. Huge piece of land.
And you can
Wow.
use your credit card. You get a 0% interest credit card. Buy one of these babies.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. Yeah, $263,000. Let's go ahead and throw this one. Yeah, 6.5 acres. Let's throw that into Regrid as well. Lost my Regrid site, so I'm just going to start over. And you don't even got to sign up for this thing. You just go to Regrid app. Let's open the web app there. Okay, I'm thinking that there must just be something local where they attach a number or they're missing a number or something like that. That's what I think is going on there. So we're going to go ahead, throw the address in. Should be massive. Oh yeah, here's the same thing. They've got a 6-1. So I think it's just the labeling. I don't think there's any issue necessarily with the parcel map. But wow, look at that.
6 acres, hey? Beauty.
Huge. Wow. Yeah, so there's a lot of
The
value there.
opening bid was just $6,000.
Yeah, $6,000, and this is probably got to be worth more than what Zillow thinks for sure. So I mean, what do the properties sell for next door that are kind of similar? A lot of similar lot sizes. Yeah, I mean 353. That's sounding more reasonable. So I think we've seen like 4 home runs, and we're just kind of getting started. This is looking unreal. Same thing. This is all public information. free and clear, high equity. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of times people ask why would these properties go to auction if they've got mortgages? But a lot of these don't have mortgages; they were paid for with cash. Um, so that happens a lot. Yeah, this looks like transfers, probably transferred through family or something like that. So for this, because it is a bit more rural, we'd have to put a little bit more finesse into coming up with an ARV and kind of doing a bit of a deeper dive. But yeah, I'm thinking that this could easily go in the 300K range for sure. That's a lot of land. This is a beautiful, beautiful parcel.
One of
A really
the,
good.
oh, what's that, Josh?
Oh, I just said it's really good.
One of the big things that comes up is people are very skeptical of tax deed investing and government seized land, and that's great. We want skepticism, and a lot of folks will be like, "Oh, it sounds too good to be true." If it, sounds too good to be true, it is. And in this business, it's you guys are kind of like an insider in the way that tax liens and deeds will never be massively mainstream because there's no room for third parties to come in and build $1 billion industry around it. For example, like the real estate agents or the mortgage companies or insurance companies. The county only allows people like you and I to go directly to the county to buy these properties. And the other nuance is the fact that there are 3,300 counties, 1,500 tax lien or 1,600 tax lien, 1,600 tax deeds. And every county does things a little bit differently. So, for example, when you're watching the flipping show on TV, like flipping a house in New York versus flipping in California, basically same premise. You go, you buy it, you put money in, you rehab. Anybody can understand that. But with this stuff, the rules are a little bit different in every single county. So you can't really get mainstream information. And that's what we do is we explore these auctions with you guys. We've been to hundreds of them. Hundreds of these auctions. We've been in and out of thousands and thousands of these counties. So we're trying to share with you our information. And that's why we give the book away along with the directory. This is basically like your driving instructions to each county so that you can get the information. It's the same way, and it's free. We're not selling it. It's in the description below. It's the same way if you are living in, we got people living in Florida and you're confident that you could go and drive in Texas because you can read the rules of the road. And that's what we're here to teach you guys how to do, how to understand the rules of the road, know the difference between tax liens and deeds, get out there and get some action. And what I recommend as well is go back and watch this training from the beginning and follow along step by step, because the big thing that we're trying to get through is like, we want you to take action when you watch this stuff. If you're just here, you watch and you don't take any action and you're just spending time on YouTube without doing anything, like it feels good and it's fun to watch content. But if you're not taking action, it really is a waste of time. And what I'd like to prepare you for is it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable when you take this action because it's uncertain, right? If you were a millionaire in real estate, you wouldn't be here right now because you'd be doing real estate. So I know most of the people that tune in haven't done a deal, and it's time for you guys to do your first deal. And that starts by attending an auction. So you can follow along with this. If you want to come with us to one of these auctions, there's a link below. You can schedule a free call. We can take you by the hand. You can physically join us at one of these auctions where we will straight up even hold your hand up to bid if we need to. Or we're do an auction online where same thing. We'll find out how much you have to bid and we'll help you find the properties and do all of this research for you. Or you guys can just watch and learn. I always give the recipe or the example of a cookbook, right? My fiance, you give her a cookbook, she'll whip up a beautiful meal. You give me a cookbook and I will just look at the pictures and probably go to a restaurant because I'm terrible with it. So let's go back into some of these deals. And everybody who's watching right now, we got a good audience going. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what city, what state, and that'll help us create more content as well. And we will go through questions here coming up soon. So put your question in the chat. We will answer all of the questions. And if you're watching the replay, put your questions in the comment and we'll answer those as well. So what do you have here, Josh?
Yeah, this is almost 20 acres of land with a open bid of $3,600. And I thought we could just see what's going on here. I think if I put a 6-1 in the front, it's going to work. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we've kind of figured out this system there. So this is in a trust. I want to look at it. I want it to come up on the map. Here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so that is, yeah, that is huge.
Wow.
Um, something like that. There's this road there as well. Yeah, look at that. So there would have to be an easement next door, and because otherwise, it's tough to say. From an overhead view, it's tough to say. So there should be an easement coming in through here, I would imagine, so that you can access all of this. And looks like a road back there as well. Um, Potentially a business next door or something next door. And then, yeah, so there's definitely, you got lots of development there, property there. So what you could do is just see what land sells for in the area. You could kind of see what business this is. You can even see what's going on in there. And of course, make sure that there's an easement. Because if there was no easement on the parcel next door, then I mean, to get to your parcel, you may need to go through here. So that's something you want to double check. Yeah, that looks like the state of Michigan right there, state of Michigan. This one is not state of Michigan. So yeah, that's something that you would want to do. But 25 acres, $3,000 could be an exceptional deal. But you always want to be careful with pieces of land, especially if there's any kind of environmental lien or anything going on like that, because not all of the liens are going to get wiped, and so you just got to be careful and do your due diligence to make sure that you are getting a property that either has the liens wiped, or if they're not, you take those into account. But $3,000, 25 acres, that could be huge. And so we would just check and see what similar pieces of land sell for in the area. Who knows what people sell them for?
So,
But
Josh, one of the
another,
things we can help people clarify, and one of the big benefits of tax deed investing is that it wipes the mortgages and liens. Now, what Josh is referring to here when he's saying we need to make sure the liens get wiped out, we need to make sure that there's no county or city liens on that property, because those are the ones that don't get wiped out. The city and the county are generally not the biggest fans of wiping out their own liens. However, the other side of it could be if there are large liens on these properties from the city or the county, what you can sometimes do is negotiate those down or negotiate them off, because ultimately the county wants this thing back on the tax roll. So don't let that stray away from you, and don't be, if a property has some challenges with it, maybe some city liens, there can be huge upsides to those properties. And one of our sayings is like, easy information to get is often a property that could be a waste of time. And an example of easy information is like going on the MLS, shopping for property. It's just there ready to go, and you're going to pay full price. These properties require a little bit of elbow grease. You have to educate yourself on how to do it, which is the purpose of the channel and why we're here. And that's really what you're doing right now, is participating in educating yourself on tax liens and deeds. And what I can tell you is, if you just put a little bit of your spare time into this business, it could really help you escape your job or create wealth. But what it comes down to is actually doing it and focusing for, say, more than the time that this live stream is. Like, what I recommend is homework assignment for everybody here who's watching, to go to this website, start researching some property, and get in the game. We're not just here for show and tell. We're here to entice you guys to take action. And I always have this thing on my desk. It's a sands through the hourglass time. And we only have so many of these left in our life. And I flip this thing around all day. And I ask myself the question is like, what is the most valuable thing I can be doing with my time right now? Or I'll ask, like, what goal do I want? So for you guys, it could be creating wealth in real estate, getting outside of your job. And the quality of the questions you're going to ask should entice you to do that. So with time draining, you have to ask yourself, okay, I want to make money in real estate. What can I do? What action can I take right now to maximize the time that I have And after watching this, you have a few paths. You can go to this website, go with the lessons you've learned. You can get the book, follow along. All of the instructions are in the book below. You can sign up for the auction. You can watch this and follow along with us. The key thing that we want you to do is take action. It not only hurts our feelings, but it hurts yourself to just watch content without action. So, you know, I'm going to be saying that till I'm blue in the face. I see we have a deal here. Oh, if you like this stuff, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. Helps the channel, and it helps you from missing or, you know, seeing this stuff when it comes up in your feed next time, and lets us know that Google likes us as well. So we'll get to some questions here. If you're just tuning in, let us know what city and state you're tuning in from, and we'll answer some questions coming up here in a minute. Looks like we have a business. What do we have? Auto body shop.
Yeah, we've got reviews from 2 months ago. I mean, from 5 years ago as well, 2 years ago, 2 months ago. So they are still active. This is still operational as far as 2 months ago. So
Wow.
it makes sense that it's still. I'm trying to do a street view, but I don't think. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, I can. Let's see if it can throw me in there. Yeah, wow. I mean, this is an excellent shape building. How big is this lot, too? I mean,
2020.
we've seen all kinds of stuff go. We've seen golf courses that are still active, huge facilities like a $10 million facility that's still active. We've seen stuff like that go. So you have businesses that go with the land, and it happens. Same thing. We'll put a 6-1 dash in front of that. That should find it. It's just thinking. I'm gonna try it again. Yeah, I like to see how big the parcel is. But yeah, definitely a body shop. It's definitely active. It looks like it's in great condition. They've got a lot, 4.9, 4.9 out of 5 stars.
Minimum bid 19 grand.
Yeah, 19 grand. So this is, you're probably, you know, a couple 100,000 here for value, easily.
Hmm. That's pretty cool. So the fun thing with this stuff is we want to be able, we're looking for spreads and margin, right? It doesn't matter what type of property it is for the most part. And we never thought, one of our wild deals was we bought a funeral home and a limousine business at one of these sales. It was worth 70 grand. What did we get it for, Josh? 6,100 bucks?
Exactly. Yeah. And we started cash flowing it, ASAP. We got about 2 years of cash flow. So it was about a grand a month, and yeah, got it for 6,100, a grand a month for 2 years, and then sold it to him for 61. So that
Yeah,
was
which is
was a
pretty
great return.
wild. We bought this thing 6,100 bucks. From day one, it starts paying us $1,000 a month in rent for 2 years. And then the landlord or the guy who was in there, the tenant, really wanted to buy the property from us. And we gave him a deal. We made a bunch of money on it and then moved on. So these types of deals happen. You know, as far as what are the odds of getting it? Well, you have to show up, you have to go, and you have to bid. And this is really one of the only industries where if you get a good run or a good hit, it can drastically change your life. But once again, coming back to action is the name of the game. So let's see here, Josh. Why don't we maybe do some of these questions for folks who are
Yeah.
tuning in? And once again, we appreciate all of the comments coming in. Blake, John, thanks for the comment. Day. Let's see here. So Day is saying there was a property, looking at a property with 120K child support lien from 2022. Yes, the tax deed will erase the child support lien. So yeah, that's what we like about tax deeds, is it wipes out the mortgages. Josh, have we done a Nevada auction? Crystal, thank you for the question.
Yeah, you know, we did go one time. I think it would have been like right outside Las Vegas, and it was one of those auctions where it's physically there, but people can also bid online. So we don't like auctions like that, and everything got bid up quite high. But that was in a major city, so we haven't gone to like the suburbs, which, you know, usually you can find better deals there. So that was the only time that we physically did an auction in Nevada, which was, yeah, around Las Vegas, and it was fairly competitive.
The smaller counties will often have a lot of the best deals, but one very, very pro tip, don't be discouraged. If you are in a big city and there's an auction, go to the auction, learn, pretend you're going to go and bid. This is one of the only, for whatever reason, folks don't like to model what they've done in life to be successful, which is, if you're going to play a sport, you practice. With this, find an auction that you basically simulate. You can go and pretend and follow along, pretend you have 50 grand or 100 just to go through the motions. And then when it's time to play the real game, you will be familiar with it. Now, the other side of the coin is that you can also get deals at the very first time you go, like I did. So approach it in a way where you're detached from the outcome. And that's really the muscle to build. Lancaster, we don't have anything there, but there are good sales in California. I've done the Riverside, Fresno, California before. And it's a great sale. Let's see. I think we had this question earlier. How do you get one-on-one help? So we're going to be attending some of these auctions in person and virtually. So if you guys want one-on-one help to attend one of these auctions, there's a link below. You can book a free call. We can see if it's a fit and you could come join us there. So that link is below if you guys want some one-on-one help. For me, that's, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for meeting a mentor at that very first sale that I went to. So if you want some help or want to ask questions, you can book a free call below and we can see if it's a fit for you. Let's see, Broward County. Wanted to look up properties in Broward County. Maybe we can come back to that in a minute, but there is good Florida stuff there. Actually, Josh, maybe if you could pull that up and I'll bang out some of these questions.
Yeah, we're good.
Great. So if the county's name, Dave's saying, if it's in the county's name, does it mean it's at the over-the-counter list? It depends. Sometimes it might go to the over-the-counter list, which is great, but sometimes they might just roll it into the next auction, which is kind of what we're seeing here. Can I trust the information regarding the existence of mortgages on PropWire? So this is where you will do the deed checking to check the title, right? So PropWire is a preliminary check that you will do. And then from there, you will start to peel back the layers of the onion. And that's why the ABC's book is good, because we walk you through the title search, but we also have tons of videos on the channel on title search as well for doing that. Let's see here. Blake, appreciate the question. And everybody, appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate all the questions. This is awesome. We've got a ton of people here today. Is it acceptable to negotiate a deal with a property? Yeah, we call that a pre-auction deal. So we do that when we can. Does it happen all the time? No, but we've scooped up a lot of good deals pre-auction. There are pros and cons to it, right? So one of the pros is the fact that you can get, a good deal. A lot of the times the homeowner might want, way less than market value. So for example, if the opening bid is 10,000, the property's worth 200, you could probably negotiate sometimes a deal 50, 60% below market value if it's going to be a pre-auction. Or if it's going to go to sale, you can have a chance of getting it up to 90%. So there's pros and cons to both. Let's see. Welcome everybody. Lindsay, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. How do you find if there are environmental liens? So when you search the deed during the title search, you will see liens, the list of liens that are on the property, which are important. So when we were showing that auto body place, that's something that we would take very seriously to see if there's any environmental hazards on that property or any open investigations by the environmental authority that, is there problems with this property? So that is a great question as well. Let's see, D, thanks for tuning in. Dave in California, lots of action in California. Let's see, is it possible to do this online or some online and in person? So these days, there's a bit of both. There are online auctions and in-person auctions, and we do both of them. So there are pros and cons to both, right? If you go to an in-person auction in a smaller county, then there could be a lot less people. Online auctions allows you to do multiple auctions quickly. Like we're going to be attending this auction that you guys saw come up. And we encourage everybody here as well to attend and go and bid on these things. Do your research, obviously. That's where our disclaimers come in. You have to independently do your research. buyer beware, right? There is risk to everything, and we're here to help limit that risk. As long as you follow the steps in the book, which is free, in the description below, or follow the steps on this channel, you should be in good shape, but you have to verify this. Okay. Let's see here. Have you done bank auctions or law firm auctions? Yes, we have purchased many properties from the foreclosure auction on the courthouse steps as well, because a lot of the times they're happening at the same time as the tax deed sale. The pros and cons of that, remember, when you're buying a bank foreclosure property, the mortgage does not get erased. So you have to play much more carefully with those. Okay. Let's see here. Somebody bought some land in Lancaster, taking forever to beware. Yeah. So that's a buyer beware, right? That's one of the mistakes that beginners make, is just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's a good deal. If it's in the middle of the desert, if it's landlocked, that's not going to be a good deal. And that's hopefully what we're here to help you guys avoid. So that's why we recommend everything that we went through at the beginning of this video. Go back, follow along, pause it, and take action here with us as well. Let's see. Best place to look for pennies on the dollar deals. Yeah, we're looking right now. We're on the website. We're looking. We're finding them in real time. So yeah, thank you for the questions. Is there a place without checking multiple liens without paying title search? Yeah, the county record is always key for that. With the county record, with a tax deed sale, sometimes you might have 50 or 100 properties, and the title search, it could cost you 50, 25, 50, 100 bucks, and that gets very expensive. So basically what we need to do is learn how to do it. So that's why we have trainings here. So we did have a question earlier, and Dave, thank you for the great comment. We're pumped to introduce everybody to the wonderful world of tax deed investing. It's an amazing opportunity to make money, get some deals. And, I use this to get out of my job, and there's a chance you guys might be able to as well. So we're going to do our best to provide that information. So we did have a question about Florida. Josh, let's see what we have.
Okay, nice. Yeah, we've got Broward County here pulled up. I think I just got to get my screen up there. Beautiful. All right, this is broward.deedauction.net. And so they've got 14 coming up for July 23rd. I took a quick peek. There are some juicy spreads for sure. So we've got 16 grand on 130, 33 grand on 286, 29 grand on 301. And then you can see a little bit there in the legal description. You also got the address. If you click the parcel number hyperlink, that's going to take you to, looks like, the property appraiser. So great website to kind of get a feel for what's going on, a little bit about the history. I would say one of the things to be careful of for Florida and Texas is sometimes you see the HOA foreclose on the homeowner. And if it's the HOA doing the foreclosure, nothing else is going to get wiped except for the HOA. So we've seen someone buy properties before in Florida where it was an HOA sale. So that's not the tax sale. It's a different kind of sale. But you will see those sales happening at tax sales. So just be very careful in Florida and Texas. If the HOA is foreclosing, then that's the only thing that's going to get wiped. The HOA fees are pretty much the opening bid. So for instance, I mean, this is $29,000. If we open this up, we can see that it's an applicant. So this is a tax lien holder sending this to a tax deed auction. And so this is a tax sale. Now, if the assessed value is $300,000 and the opening bid is $1,800, that would kind of be an indication that it could be the HOA. And if there was no applicant, or if it was the HOA, you would see that. So be careful of that. 79 grand on 804,000. Whoa, wow, that's a high value property for sure. So I mean, even if someone got that for $200,000, that would be mind blowing. This is probably worth I bet close to a million instead. Yeah, so there are good deals here and really good opportunities. And this is an auction that you can do in your pajamas, which is pretty sweet. You can be anywhere. If you wanted to be overseas, you could have a US LLC and you could be buying these properties. which is pretty
Josh,
sweet.
speaking of HOA, Day has a great question. If the HOA files a foreclosure suit right before the tax sale, do they still get wiped?
Yeah, so that's pretty tricky. That's pretty tricky. So, I mean, to kind of answer the question quickly, the HOA just needs to be part of the lawsuit. They just so the county does a title search before the auction, and they send notices to everybody who they pull on title. And so the HOA one is a bit tricky. A lot of times they're not going to get wiped if they're not part of the lawsuit, if they're not part of the paperwork. And so we've seen properties that are at the tax sale in Harris County that are slated for a HOA foreclosure the next month. And so that's a situation where you would want to just set aside the money to stop it from going to the sale. Because a lot of times, if they're not part of the lawsuit, then it won't get wiped. So a bit more of a challenging question, but very rare as well at the same time. That's definitely not the norm. But yeah, if you see that, just set aside that money instead and get it paid off.
Nice. Great question, everybody. Great engagement. We appreciate it. And we're going to be doing a lot more live streams. So keep an eye out for these as we are stepping up the live game. And like I mentioned, our goal is to be the leading authority in tax liens and deeds. So we're going to do that through this channel, which, like I say, 3,500 videos. If you're new here, we have the most videos on tax liens and deeds, I think, by a couple thousand. It's
Yeah.
crazy, Josh. I think we're going to hit 3,600 videos coming up. And we have an extensive resource base there for you guys to dive into. And then Tax Lien School is interactive maps there, free resources for everybody to dive into. And just once again, the Case of Beer Challenge. If anybody out here can find another YouTube channel or another website that has more free, valuable resources on tax liens and deeds, I'll send you a case of beer. We'll do it the redneck way. So far, nobody's taken on that challenge yet, because I just don't think it's out there. Like, you see lots of other people doing seminars and things like that, and we try to give you guys everything you need by doing these live streams. And that's the name of the game. So really appreciate the comments. If you guys are liking this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this. Josh, I see you have bid for assets on there right there. Let's see. Someone is saying here, even though I'm blind, can you guys help me out? Can a blind person use this? Believe it or not, we've actually had, I think, 2 or 3 blind folks through our trainings. Now, I'm not sure if you have as long as you have somebody to help you. We've also had somebody who was deaf, who did sign language. So as long as you have somebody who can help you, then, basically your eyes on the ground, right? Then, you're listening. So that's a huge part of it. You can be taking these concepts and telling them, what you need. So we can definitely help you, even if you're blind. But we just need to make sure that you have somebody who can be executing, who can be your eyes for this stuff, right? Let's see. What do you have here, Josh?
Yeah, it was just kind of in response to the knowledge about land that's for sale. And bid for assets is definitely one of the popular places. But I would say that a lot of times you've got to get into the fine print, because I've seen weird stuff go for sale. And what I mean by weird is I've seen people selling what you think you're buying a property, but you're actually just buying a tax lien, and it's being very closely marketed to a property. Another example would be what's like a redemption state, and they're selling it, and maybe you end up paying more for it and it's still under a redemption period. And if they were to redeem the property, it could be for less. So I've seen people list stuff that is in very odd situations. And so you just really want to be careful anytime you're buying something online on one of those kinds of auctions. So this wouldn't be a government auction, but it would just be someone privately selling something. So just really pay attention to the fine print and never trust someone else's comps, and use your own.
Excellent. And the question there was, if you're not able to see, as who is it here, mentioning their blog. So here's the number if you guys want to give us a call, have any questions. Let's see here. Ready? So it's 513-902-1960. So 513-902-1960 if anybody wants to give us a call. Josh, did that come through?
You know what? I was about to tell you that it sounds like you're breaking up a little bit, but the last part came through. Kind of going into that broke up, but then we got the phone number.
The phone number came through. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's see here. Yeah, got the number. Perfect. Where do you see what debt is attached? Well, that's going to be in the title search on the deed. Appreciate the comments, everybody. What is quitclaim deed process? Well, the quitclaim deed is basically a down and dirty deed that doesn't clear. It could come with encumbrances. So you could go and do a quick claim deed, and basically there's a chance you'll have to clear title on that. So sometimes these counties will give you a quick claim deed and you will have to clear the title. That's where we use tax title services to do that. But sometimes they will come with a guarantee deed as well. So that is a good question. And once again, for the terminology on that stuff, we have hundreds of videos. We have the book, which is free, the mini course with the directory. So all of that is in the description below. If you guys want some help, and just coming back to it, one of the things I like to relate to is when we look at a lot of things in life, sometimes you need that one-on-one help, right? If you're taking your first steps, mom and dad are there to help take you by the hand. If you're driving a car, someone's sitting there beside you. So if you guys want that type of help, we do offer it. So we like to give away the book and then offer the opportunity. If you want, there's a link below. You can schedule a free call. You can book it with us, and you can come join us at one of these sales where we can take you by the hand and literally, hold up your hand if you want help bidding, or if you just want some training, or somebody who's been in the trenches that can look at your situation, show you where the deals are, and evaluate the properties when it comes time to bid. That's what we can do. Sometimes we help people get deals and within 14 to 30 days or less. We're going to be attending these auctions coming up and doing a small live training at that. So that's going to be in the description below if you want to check that out as well. And then we also have Tax Lien School, which has tons of resources for you guys in the Tax Lien Knowledge Vault. So right now we're going to sign off. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Do us a favor, thumbs up, subscribe if you like this, and we will see everybody in the next one coming up, and appreciate all the engagement. We'll see you soon.